Here we go.
Hey, don't go live on Facebook.
We're live right now.
We are funny.
I know we're funny. Okay, cool. Well, people are coming in right now, which is all good.
That is awesome. I fixed the chat. Let me see if my fix took, because I fixed the chat so that people can chat with each other without us turning on the chat.
Okay. I see all kinds of groovy people coming in, which is very cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
I'm going to say hello from Long Island.
Yeah, let's just see. See if it's working. There it is. I see the chat. It says Bridget Callahan from California.
Thanks, Art. Okay, it's chilly enough outside recently for me to wear my flannel.
There you go, man. You know, the sun, that hot, crazy, record-breaking heat is done. So we are in the house. All right. So we have a lot to accomplish. Welcome, Mastermind members. So glad to see all of you here, and very exciting, and from all over the place. So we're here now with Partner Attraction Formula AI Mastermind. We are going to do some of the stuff that we used to do. Periodically, we'll jump into figuring out people's mind types, talking about what the mind types do, and so on. But for the most part, we're going to focus on how to use AI to grow your business, obviously using the principles that we talk about, which are three, always three: limbic messaging, so that you connect with people's hearts where they make decisions. Number two, partner or client-centric copy, so that you're always making it about them, not about you. And number three, that the calls to action are always super clear. I want to welcome everybody to Mind Types After Dark, letting you know that Hubert Lee has a bad cold, as a result of which he's drinking what? Water. Okay, very rare for Hubert Lee on Mind Types After Dark, but that's what he's doing, and that's probably a very smart thing. There are plenty of people on this call who drink only water, which is fine also. But if you have your favorite beverage, that is what we do on Mind Types After Dark. And we're going to jump in. We have some very cool stuff to do tonight.
Awesome. Did you see that note from Dr. Jean? My libation is a Cabernet called Rough Day. Perfect for today.
I guess she must have had a rough day. There you go. All right. So, again, just want to really remind people of how to best use this. And we have a great example today, thanks to Paul and Joan from Maryland. Paul and Joan sent us a bunch of stuff to review. So we're going to do first some AI training, then Hubert's going to do some training, and then after that, we're jumping into making this mastermind about helping you precisely do what you need to do, just like you saw me do with Scott Brown on our last call. But especially when somebody sends in something ahead of time, it makes it really easy. And Paul and Joan were really thorough. We need to do this, we need this, we need this, we need this. That's great. You never need to feel funny about sending in stuff, however much stuff you have, so that we can use that as a teaching experience for everybody. Remembering one really key thing: you're going to see something that you're not used to seeing in a hot seat on this mastermind. And that is the use of AI to accelerate things and make things much, much faster. So normally in a hot seat in a mastermind, that might take an hour by itself to resolve one or two issues. With AI, you don't have to do that. It is much quicker. So it's okay to bring multiple things to the fore for us to take a look at and work on, because AI is a phenomenal accelerator. Hubert, any thoughts on that? You look really good, but you're on mute. Sorry for coughing.
Yes, and it's an accelerator, and it truly is. It's very interesting because while if you bring nothing to it, you'll get a decent result. So in a way, it makes it an equalizer. But what's really cool is that the more skill you bring to it, you get incrementally much higher results. Meaning, at the lowest levels, if you don't care and you just use it in a cursory way, you get acceptable results way faster than you would have otherwise. But if you bring your A game, you're going to get magnified results, like incredible. Like Ridgely has experienced this personally. It's like, Ridgely's thrilled about AI because he's using it to magnify a lifetime of communication and writing.
That's exactly right. And it keeps just getting faster and faster and better and better. And that's why we want to go through these trainings and help everybody do this. We're in this, a lot during the day. We have lots of clients that we work with during the day. So for us, it's a little easier. But I really want to open the minds of everybody on this mastermind. So it's not just about using the tool, it's about opening the possibilities, right? And I really sincerely mean this. We have to start thinking differently to tap into this in a very, very big way. So we're going to kick this off with a very interesting scenario. So here's what happened to me. Most of you know that for the last 40 years, I have been a practicing Buddhist. I've been chanting for a very long time for world peace, and I am a Buddhist leader. So I am a spiritual leader, much like a pastor is a spiritual leader, or a reverend, or a rabbi, or anybody else who is a spiritual leader. I have 163 now members that I'm in charge of with my counterpart. And so, that's what I do. In my spare time on the weekends and such, I'm involved in spiritual activities, taking care of youth, helping people, going to visit people, elderly people, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I am sitting on an airplane on my way to Dallas to do a speaking engagement, actually in Mexico City, last weekend. So this is just a few days ago. And who sits down in my row, right? Like I'm in the window seat, in the aisle seat, is Robert, who is the head pastor at First Presbyterian Church in Pensacola, Florida, where I live, which is where my stepdaughters and their families go to church. And so, I've been there many times. I have no funny things about going to church and sitting through a service. It's great. The singing and it's beautiful. Sermons are amazing. I have no issue at all. I've sat on many interfaith councils as a spiritual leader. I enjoy all of that. I really believe that there are many rivers that lead to the ocean of truth. And we start having this big old dialogue. He's showing me pictures of my family members on his phone, right? So it's great. And then we just start talking about, somehow we got onto the topic about presentations, because if you're a spiritual leader, you have to give presentations to your folks, whatever they are. And he was saying that he was having a hard time with writing sermons. And I said, well, Robert, are you using AI? And he says, well, I mean, I've tried to play with it, but I don't really know. And it's not really working for me. And it's kind of funny. And I said, bro, look, man, let me help you out, because if you're not using AI, at least to do the research that you need to do for your sermons, you're working way too hard. I mean, wait, there's this giant brain that is available to you that has taken in all of this data, all of the Buddhist data of the world, all of the Christian data of the world. It's right there available to you. You need to tap into this thing. He said, well, yeah, man, that'd be great. And from a complete space of how can I help someone out who happens to be connected to my family in a unique way, I said, would you like me to help you? Would you like me to give it a crack? And he said, sure. I said, okay. For those of you who may not be familiar with this, probably most people are, but in formal religions, there's a thing called the lectionary. And the lectionary means, whether it's a Catholic or Baptist or Presbyterian or Episcopalian or whatever, there's a theme for every week throughout the entire year so that it's consistent around all of the congregations. And so the lectionary for this week, literally 3 days from now, for Sunday, was on a parable from a piece from Matthew called the Parable of the Talents. And so he sent that to me. And now I'm going to take a crack as a Buddhist leader who, in complete transparency, has not opened a Bible for 40 years, other than if it was to read to my grandchildren or something like that, to help him write a sermon about Matthew and the parable of talents. And I want to walk you through this so that everybody can open their minds to understand that this brain is this giant brain. You can tap into it for whatever you need. So I'm looking to help my friend Robert with his sermon. Nothing attached to it other than trying to help him out. So let me show you my screen and show you what can happen and the results that can come from something like this. A little bit wacky in terms of, how it all went down, but I came to find out, actually, from some research that I did, that one of the political speechwriters in Washington, D.C. is helping rabbis write their sermons using AI. So this is nothing other than a tool and people helping people to use the tool. But if you can open your own mind to think, wow, what might be possible for me, it creates that space. So I used our prompt creator first. And then I said, okay, you are a senior Presbyterian minister with a high level of expertise in writing compelling sermons for your Sunday services. You're charged with writing a sermon on Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30, and need an outline in bullet format to get going. Okay, so it revises the prompt for me and gives me a 7 out of 10, along with suggestions and questions that I could use to improve the prompt, right? So I said, great. The main theme of the sermon is you can only get out something what you put in. That's what he told me. And this applies to faith as well. The target audience includes both conservative elderly church members and younger, more progressive members. Okay, great. So AI revises the prompt for me. So notice what I'm doing. I am communicating with the tool as if I'm having a conversation with someone who's friendly to me, who is willing to help me, and who is an expert in what I'm looking to accomplish. Very important that we understand what I'm doing here. So then it revises the prompt. And we don't need to read that necessarily. It's right there. You can read it if you want to. Gives me an 8.5. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. What else can I do? It gives me suggestions and questions. Can you add in anecdotes, etc.? I said, among the misconceptions or common challenges to be addressed include laziness in faith and the failure to make it part of daily life. I got that from the conversation that I had with Robert, the minister. The CTA should be some practical points to put more into their faith practice, along with a final prayer. So now AI is still revising the prompt. Notice I have not run the prompt yet. I have not even said, give me an output. We're still educating AI as to what it is that we need, which is very important for everybody to understand. This is an iterative process. You are constantly talking, so to speak, to use that term, with AI so that you educate the tool to give you what you really need. So now the prompt is revised and it gives me a 9 out of 10. I'm like, well, okay, I wonder if we could take it a little further. And this is, by the way, last Sunday morning in Mexico City in my hotel room, right? So I said, look, tap into FOMO, the fear of missing out, when it comes to the benefits of having an active faith versus a passive one. Make the tone, talk about the tone, something you could do for any of your prompts, compelling and persuasive, though informal and with humor. Close the sermon with a more contemporary and fun tone. Okay, so AI revises the prompt. I have not run the prompt yet. We're still working on the prompt. Gives me a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, and says a couple of things that I could potentially do to make the prompt even better. By the way, getting above a 9 is not so easy. So once you get to a 9, if you've got a 9, you can run the prompt very freely. You're going to get a great output. I do this a lot. So I'm like, wait a second. No, one more thing. Insert a couple of thought-provoking questions for the congregation to cause them to consider where and how they might get more active in their faith practice. So again, I'm just constantly tweaking. What could make this a little better? What could make this a little richer? So, all right, here we go. I've got the new prompt, and now I got a 10 out of 10. Again, please do not put that kind of pressure on yourself. You don't have to. Getting a 10 out of 10 is hard, okay? So we do, and finally I said, yes, run the prompt. And then we got a sermon outline for Matthew 25, verses 14 to 30. Introduction, misconceptions in faith, addressing the challenge of laziness, pitfalls, humorous anecdote. Remember when Peter tried walking on water? At least he got out of the boat. Some of us are still checking the weather forecast. Interesting, right? This is AI. How cool is this? The fear of missing out of faith, benefits of an active faith versus a passive one, modern day analogy. Again, it's giving me, at this point, nothing but bullets. Addressing the conservative elderly, addressing the younger, more progressive members, thought-provoking question, how does your daily routine reflect your commitment to your faith? Crazy how powerful this is. And it gives us a little bit of humor here in the closing prayer. Dear Lord, in this age of endless notifications, may our faith be the loudest ping. As we swipe through life, guide our fingers to scroll towards you. Help us hit like on the blessings and share the love. Amen. Really cool, right? Notice that I'm only halfway down the prompts at this point, okay? I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I want everybody to see how crazy powerful this is. Now I say, thank you, terrific. Can you please flesh this out to be a 15-minute sermon incorporating all of the above? In other words, all of the instructions that we have given to AI, put that into a 15-minute sermon. Now it comes up, the FOMO of faith, Matthew 25, 14 to 30. Good morning, dear congregation. Today we dive into a story of 3 servants and their master, but also a tale that speaks to our modern hearts. In today's age, we often hear about FOMO, the fear of missing out, but have you ever considered the FOMO of faith? Really powerful. This is great stuff. Again, me being a Buddhist, I'm not a Christian, but I think this is really compelling content. Misconceptions in faith, the FOMO of faith, engaging both ends of the congregation spectrum, as in the elderly and the young. Conclusion, practical faith points. Start your day with a prayer, even if it's simple, a simple thank you to the Almighty. Dedicate a few minutes to scripture writing. Let the word seep into your soul. Engage in community service. It's not just about helping others. It's about enriching your own spirit. And most importantly, and so on. Closing prayer. This is crazy good stuff. What am I going to do now? Obviously, we know what I'm going to do now. If you're paying attention, we're going to insert limbic messaging. So we've done all the work so far. Now it's time for the limbic messaging to come in. So we got limbic messages based on the sermon. Faith is an active journey, not a passive wait. You deserve a faith that moves, inspires, and transforms you daily. Because community matters. We picture a world where every heart is ignited by the fire of active faith, right? Limbic messaging into the sermon. It gets better, people. So please just track with me. Imagine you can do this, and you can, as long as you learn the system. Okay, great. Now insert the compelling limbic messaging into the sermon and give me a new version that's 15 minutes long. Here we go. Now it has inserted the limbic messaging into this. We believe every soul has the potential to shine with divine light. But something to check off the list. But because active faith matters, we strive to live it daily. This is limbic message. We picture a world where faith isn't just believed, but visibly lived and celebrated. Into the sermon. You know what's coming, right? If you're paying attention to the partner attraction formula, limbic message, partner or client or congregation-centric copy, right? And then clear call to action. Great. So now let's keep going. Let's now review all the copy for the sermon and ensure that it's focused on the congregation members and their needs. The sermon should be written in you language that makes the messaging all about them, which is what we teach in the partner attraction formula. It's so powerful. Here we go. So now it starts again. Good morning to each of you. Today, we're exploring the parable of the talents from Matthew 25:14 through 30. The story isn't just about three servants and their master. It's about you and your journey with faith. In this age of FOMO, the fear of missing out, have you ever considered what you might be missing out on your faith journey? This is great stuff, and it keeps getting better. Are you guys with me on this? Now, I want to make sure that we're clear on something. Do not attribute what's happening here to Ridgely. This is the tool. I'm simply providing the instructions to the tool to give us this level of output. It gets better. So I'm not going to read through all this. It would take way too long. We only have so much time. Great. Now give me a version of the sermon that's a working summary with bullets and sections that can be expanded. So now it breaks down the thing for me into bullets, the FOMO of faith, conclusion, closing prayer, etc. Now I said, wait a second. What if we could bring in other pieces of the Bible? Can you reference any other sections of the Bible that would be most relevant and supportive of the sermon? Sure. So AI goes out and finds James, Galatians, Luke, Revelation, Proverbs, Hebrews, Romans. This is not Ridgely finding this. I don't know these things. Now, terrific. Can you give me one last version of the sermon that is designed to be 20 minutes long that incorporates some of these other passages by reference and everything we have discussed and worked on so far? Here we go. 20-minute version incorporating the biblical references. And now, as you read through, misconceptions in faith. In our fast-paced world, it's easy for you to let faith become a Sunday-only affair. But as James 2:14-26 reminds us, what good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? And so on. Proverbs 13:14 warns, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing. Are we sometimes that sluggard in our faith? In other words, AI completely incorporated the other pieces from the Bible into what I'd done. Galatians 6 right there. You keep on going, Revelation 3:15 through 16, and so on, all the way down to the conclusion, and then you get a closing prayer. Contemporary and fun. Check this out. Let's come together in prayer. Dear Lord, in this age of endless notifications, may our faith be the loudest ping. As we navigate life, guide us closer to you. Help us appreciate the blessings and to share the love. And as we reflect on today's message, may our bond with you be unbreakable. Amen. Okay, so I said, very, very cool. Just for fun, would you give us one more version that has a lot of tasteful, not just humor, tasteful humor in it, the kind that would make young and old people laugh and smile so that everyone walks away talking about the sermon with a smile on their faces? Notice I wanted to put a tremendous amount of respect here for the Presbyterian faith and make it fun to see if I could give Robert, my friend, some other options here. So now AI says, of course, let's infuse some lighthearted humor into the sermon to make it memorable and enjoyable for all ages. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'm just going to open up with maybe the intro and the outro so you can see the possibilities. Good morning, everyone. Today we're diving into the parable of the talents. And no, we're not talking about juggling or singing, though if you can do that, we might have a spot for you in next week's talent show. Ever heard of FOMO? No, it's not a new type of latte. It's the fear of missing out. But have you ever had FOMO about faith? Let's dive in. A little bit more. In this age of Netflix and chill, sometimes our faith feels more like Netflix and maybe later. But James 2:14 through 26 nudges us, saying faith without works is, well, like popcorn without butter, kind of bland. Remember Peter walking on water? I bet he didn't have water-resistant sandals, but he had faith. When was the last time you took a splash in the faith pool, right? This is really, really clever stuff. Now, my friend Robert might not use all of this, but it's really cool. Galatians 6:7 through 9 reminds us, whatever one sows, that will he also reap. So if you're sowing donuts, expect donuts. But with faith, expect spiritual growth and maybe fewer calories, right? In a world of TikTok and Twitter, are you giving your faith just a 60-second glance, or is it getting the full movie treatment? This is really great content. I'll go all the way to the end here. Conclusion, practical faith points. Start with gratitude, like hitting the snooze button, but spiritually better. Romans 12:11 says, not to be slothful in zeal. So let's not make our faith a sloth. Cute, but slow. Acts of kindness, they're like spiritual selfies. They make everyone look good. What a great line. They're like spiritual selfies. They make everyone look good. What? And share, not just on Instagram or Facebook, but share your face stories. They're better than any viral video, and so on. I hope you get a sense of what's possible. This is the Buddhist guy writing a Presbyterian sermon using AI. I didn't write it. AI wrote it. All I did was help. Hubert, your thoughts?
Sorry, I'm coughing. That's super exciting. Have you had a chance to share this with your friend yet?
Yeah, I sent it to him and just waiting to hear back.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I hope he's impressed at least, even if he doesn't use it.
Yeah, I mean, it just even to understand the possibilities of what can happen here, it is like super crazy. So anyway, any other thoughts on that? Anybody have any thoughts in the
Yes. Well, speaking of churches, of course, that reminds me of a joke, Richard.
Oh no. Okay, here we go.
What did the priest say to get rid of the bugs in the church?
What?
What did the priest say to get rid of the bugs in the church?
Okay, what?
Let us spray.
Let us spray. You know, you had to have that. You know, he's not feeling that bad. Okay, people. All right. So anyway, I
Okay,
want
so
to open up. I know that took a little longer than I expected initially, but I wanted you guys to give you like opening up your mind to what's possible when you use AI. It's almost unlimited, and we need to start thinking like that so that we really get that sense of, wow, what if I could do this? Or what if I could do that? Or what if I tried this? Or how about that? That's the way you want to be thinking. All
exactly.
right.
I do want to recognize a question that Katie Miller had asked. I believe she was asking if this was available in the PAF materials, and I think what she's asking for is the Ridgely's prompt, because at the beginning of this session, Ridgely actually didn't just start writing the prompt. He actually used a prompt creator that we have created for you, and you can use that to hone your prompt. Okay,
Correct.
so Ridgely, let me just share my screen and I'll point everybody to where it is.
Yeah,
And
sure.
let me just share my screen. So inside, you can see my screen. This is the PAF AI Mastermind Vault, and there's different tiles that you can use to access different things. And we're specifically talking about Ridgely's private prompt library. And in there, you'll get access to a Google Doc where Ridgely creates his prompts, and it actually has this prompt creator, and it's a very powerful one.
Yeah, and a bunch of other prompts, and there's some really crazy stuff out there. I want to show you one other thing. We're doing something similar, but this is actually from a friend of mine. But to give you an idea of what's possible, and then we'll talk about the API, and I'll turn this over to Hubert, and then we'll come back and do some work. So I have a friend who used a Google spreadsheet to create this. So here, you come up here and you say, expert, what kind? Brainstorming partner, writer, assistant, question writer, copywriter. Okay, cool. What am I doing? I'm doing a landing page, Facebook page, blog idea. Let's go with a follow-up email. What kind of language? Let's do English, UK English. Okay, great. What kind of style? Persuasive, inspirational, right in the voice of conversational, desired outcome. Take this action. Reader comprehension level, 25 years old, and so on. And down here below, it's building a prompt so that all you need to do at that point is grab all this, make a copy of it, and then pop it into your favorite AI, whichever one it is, and you go from there. These are the kinds of tools that are becoming available to us. We're going to keep doing stuff like this, but I'm just showing it to you so you open your mind to what's possible. Gene, it's absolutely inside your vault. If you're not seeing it, send a ticket to support at Partner Traction Formula, and we can guide you there, but it's right there right now. All right. We have
Katie is reporting that it's not in the Jackie Simmons one either, so maybe we need to check the permissions or something like that.
Okay, so please send, especially you guys are really good at this stuff, Katie and Gene, please send a ticket to support a Partner Traction Formula. As we're just getting going, maybe there's something that has to be clicked that I don't know about because it's above my pay grade. But we will get that sorted, by tomorrow. So please send a quick ticket, support at partnertractionformula.com saying that, and we'll sort it out. By the way, we want to introduce you to Sansia, who is your support person in this area. So please just reach out to Sansia for sure, and she will take care of you. Okay, Hubie, we've had this question big time. It's another click deep. I found it, says Gene. Sansia is amazing. Okay, good. I'm glad you said Sansia is amazing. Perfect.
Good. Okay, so Dr. Gene spotted it, which is awesome.
Okay, we have a couple of people who are having some issues with the API. Hubert, yes. Can I ask you to take over showing that? Understanding team, this may be a little bit complicated. We'll walk you through it. Again, this is our first call, so be patient, please.
So I will explain it all, and I'll ask for help with some people that I know, such as like Bridget, who was able to do it successfully, and I'll do that so that everybody has it all set up. But on the heels of what Ridgely showed, before it gets too far along, I just want to do a little mini training on the prompt that Ridgely created. Okay, so I love frameworks, right? There's a framework for creating prompts that we should all think about. It's the simplest one, the CREATE framework. Okay, and what does CREATE stand for? All right, the CREATE framework. Here it is here. Okay, take a screenshot or whatever. Character, request, examples, additions, type of output, and extras. Okay, the CREATE framework. And we're just going to walk through this very, very quickly. It's very basic, but it ensures that you catch all the basics. C for character, right? This is the role you want ChatGPT to play. Oftentimes, you will start a prompt by saying, act as blah, 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 right? So in this case, you are an expert chef with 20 years experience and a Michelin star. The specificity is important because it seeds the ability for this thing to kind of like surprise you with some really good stuff. You can create amazing and surprising dishes from the simplest of ingredients, right? So tell it who you want to be writing you this answer. That's character, very important. Request, this is the task, okay? I want you to generate an amazing recipe using just the ingredients I have in my fridge and my cupboards. Start by asking me what ingredients I have available, right? Tell it, after you tell it how to act, tell it what you actually want it to do. That's a request, CR. Examples. You can say, teach me in the style of such and such, Gordon Ramsay, right? The specificity in the thing, it's like channeling a person that you respect. Adjustments. In this particular case, it's imperial units, okay? And blah, 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 whatever. So making tweaks and adjustments. Now, this framework, you can do it all in one shot, or you can do it in a revisionary kind of a way, right? You can do it step by step. You can get the initial result and then come back and ask for the subsequent ones. Type of output. Tell ChatGPT exactly how to format it, right? In this case, write your response as a recipe. Give me a recipe title, 100-word paragraph describing the dish, a list of ingredients, and simple to follow steps. Write it in plain English without jargon. And extras. Okay, the extras are these kind of little secrets, and then as we go through, these are kind of the best tips and things like that. And so in the let me see where I can show you into the membership where to find Hubert's hacks. So excuse me, I'm not logged in as a front end user. I'm logged in as the editor. So here we go. So before, we referred you to this one here for Ridgely's private prompt library. Hubert's hacks here is another one where I'll put all of my little tips and tricks like that, and it's constantly growing. I'm practically adding like a couple of hacks a week kind of a thing. So Hubert's hacks. Okay, so now what we're talking about is the partner attraction formula brain part here. Okay, in here there are step-by-step instructions on how to set it up. But let me walk you through it. And if anybody has a specific question, I can bring you on camera as well too. And so, Art, maybe you want to come in and tell me explicitly what you're having an issue with. But let me walk it through first for everybody to kind of get the basics and see how far along you are and what step you're stuck in. Okay, so let me kind of do this a little backwards. After you've set up your account, you should be logging in by going to this URL, app.partnerattractionformula.ai. And when you go there, you will get this login screen, and you will use your username that you set up during the process. Okay. Prior to this, to set up the account, you will have clicked on your link and you went to this screen where it says create new account. And you put in your name, your email address, your username, and then the password. Okay. Many of the people here have a team, and it would be nice to have everybody access the same PAF AI brain account so that you can save things and share things among the team members. So what I suggest you do is, rather than have each person set up their own account, you as the business owner, you set up a main account, and then after it's set up, you share your username and your password and send people to app.partnerattractionformula.ai and have them log in. Okay. Now, once you log in, I'm just going to log in here. This is the interface. You know you're good to go after you set it up when you go to profile and you look down here, and this spot here, OpenAI API key, has a value, and this thing says, when it says available under 3.5 Turbo and ChatGPT 4, you're all good to go when it says available. Okay. Now, some of you have told me that you have not been able to go and get an API key, or you're confused by it and that whole thing here. Okay. So let me just ask people, reply to me in the chat, please. Are there people that successfully set this all up and can use have you gotten to this stage? Are there people who have gotten to this stage where you've successfully generated an API key, you put it in our software, and it says available? Okay, so let me just stop and check and see who has gotten that far. So Dr. Jean, no. Katie, no. Shari, James, yes, I was successful. Linda said yes. Bridget said yes, first time it worked. Okay, so we have some people that got it right the first time and some people that didn't. Okay, so let me share my screen again and give you some tips and tricks. Now, it could be tricky depending on the following. Okay, so let me just explain something and then I'll come back to this thing. When you use this interface here, okay, this where you can choose between 3.5 and ChatGPT 4, and you put your prompts in here, and your prompt history is all here at chat.openai.com. This whole service, this interface here, is called ChatGPT Plus. Okay, that is a $20 a month paid service. Okay, this is actually not where you get the API key information. Okay, the concept of an API key actually doesn't have anything to do with ChatGPT Plus. You do not need to be paying the $20 a month. I think it's worth it because the $20 a month gives you the ability to go and go to the, I don't know why this is not showing it to me, but you can actually go to the prompt store and go and install all of these plugins. Okay, and it's quite worth it. That's ChatGPT 4. Let me log out and then show you where you might be getting confused. Okay, now if you go into chatgpt.openai.com right over here, and you're not logged in, you click login. This is the login screen, and you hit login, continue. You will get to this 3-panel thing. Oh, no, that didn't work. Hold on. Sometimes it's inconsistent, and that's why. So okay. Let me just go to openai.com. Okay, here's openai.com. If you go here and hit login, you get to this 3-panel thing. What this 3-panel thing is telling you is that the company, OpenAI, which you have an account for because you paid for ChatGPT Plus, they also have a DALL-E service and an API service. These are 3 separate services. They charge for them separately. And just because you have a ChatGPT Plus account over here, like in our previous example, you do not have your API account set up. So what you will need to do is log out, type in openai.com, log into your account, and you will get to this split screen here, where you then click on this API screen here. Once you get to this API screen here, you're now at platform.openai.com. Okay, here are some very cool things. This is a free account to open. Anybody can open this. You can then go into personal and manage account and all of that, and click view API keys. If you click API keys, here is where you create new secret key. I created one for myself. I just called it AI Brain in case I wanted to keep track of it. Now, do not share your API key with people. It's a secret key, okay? Anybody that has a valid key can go to a tool such as our PAF AI Brain or any other AI thing that needs a open AI key, and you can use that to, charge money to your account. And now, you would come to this page here, personal API, and then click create new secret key, and you would walk through the creation of this thing. It's very straightforward, and you would take that and you would paste it into this section here. Okay, and then you would hit save changes. Okay, now let me just stop for and take a quick check there. Does anybody have any questions? So Dr. Art, you had a question specifically about this. You wrote no wrong API. And so what does that mean? Can you elaborate? And Paul is saying, yes, but ChatGPT 4 was not available. I'll discuss that in a second. I'm sorry, Ridgely, you're muted?
And team, also, we want to remember, we're just getting started, right? So there's going to be a little glitches to everybody to come up to speed. Once you come up to speed, all this is literally like riding a bike. It just takes a minute to understand it all. Once you get it, the power of the thing is insane. So we want to just help you. This is just our first call. We'll be doing it again next week. So, let's just be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. If it seems a little complicated or a little whatever, don't worry. We're going to get through all that.
Right. Now, here's a trick. Paul mentioned that he was able to get to the API key, but he's not getting the access to ChatGPT 4, which is what you want because that's the latest and greatest. Here's the trick to that. Once you have your OpenAI account set up, right, you go to billing, right over here, billing. And what you want to do is sign up for the pay-as-you-go plan and set up a prepaid balance of $10. Okay, if you set up a prepaid plan balance of $10, it will automatically give you the ChatGPT 4 level. Okay, now the price of using the API is a fraction of the price of using the ChatGPT Plus. And you say, okay, yeah, but don't I need software for it? The answer is yes and no. So you can use your API key in software such as we created, or in this interface right here. And I suggest you all go and play in your playground right here. You click on playground, and this playground here, it looks hard to use, but in here, enter a user message here. This is where you would put prompts, and you could flip through all kinds of different modes and all kinds of different models, okay, and do all kinds of playing here, some pretty fancy stuff. And you use this exactly like you would use this ChatGPT interface over in this screen here. This one, if you've been using ChatGPT Plus, you're used to all of this and you're good to go. But keep in mind too, once in a while, you should play around in your playground. And I'll put in the Hubert's Hacks sections, like how to, get very cool stuff using this playground. And it's available at a fraction of the price. Now, I realized originally this was kind of dry and techie and geeky and could be very intimidating for people. So I just want to check in. And so Art said, I tried using my existing ChatGPT API. Okay, so if that's not working, let me just share my screen again. You may have a legacy account and that would be fine. But if you go to your API keys here, are you able to click create a new secret key? If I click on create new secret key and call it test, and I hit this, I don't want to do it because it's going to generate a key and then you can all copy it and hack my account. But that's all you would need to do. And you would take this new secret key and take it and plug it into this right here. Now, of course, if you can't get it to work, let support know, and I will get on a screen share with you and walk you through it, one-on-one. And then maybe we can make a little training on that.
Yeah, and I want to say something else. I want to add something to that. Okay, there are people who are purely creative, and that's amazing. There are some of you who, hey, I just want to bring my ideas and my thoughts and whatever. That's when you just bring your content to the mastermind and let us help you. I truly encourage everybody to want to learn how to use these tools because it's going to be a game changer for the rest of your career. But if it's all like overwhelming and intimidating and all that, then don't worry about it. Just bring your stuff to the mastermind and we'll help you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm a resistant sometimes to wanting to learn new things, but AI is so cool and so ridiculous what it can do that I really wanted to make the investment in the time and effort to do that. It took me a minute, but now it literally is like riding a bike. If you're just like, oh my gosh, it just puts my stomach into knots and my shoulders go to my ears to even think about this stuff, then don't do that. Just bring us the content, and we're going to jump into what Paul and Joan have shared to give you an idea of how to do that, because it's really key. And this is kind of like a little bit of a hot seat situation. We're going to look at a bunch of stuff for Paul and Joan. And
okay. I'm sorry. Before we do, speaking of Paul, I just want to mention this to Paul. So, Paul, you're saying that you did the $10 pre-funding, and you're not getting ChatGPT 4. Try creating a new secret key and using the new secret key and check. That's one thing. The second thing to check is once you get to this interface here in your API account, click on Playground and see if ChatGPT 4 is listed under here under the models. Okay, you should be able to see ChatGPT 4 here. If not, then we'll have to look more closely and see why your OpenAI account doesn't have ChatGPT 4.
All right, let's jump in. We got a lot of stuff to review, and I know I can feel it from my heart to yours. I can feel there's a lot of people going, "Oh my God, my brain is exploding." Don't worry, this is just the first call. We're just getting warmed up over here. So, we're going to go through this many times, many ways until we all get kind of comfortable with it. Okay, so not something to be overly concerned with. And Paul and Joan, thank you very much for sending all the content so that we can talk about different things. And this is a great way for everybody else to see, hey, this is what we're here for, to help you. Okay, so Hubert, can you first take a look at, and this part will be fairly quick because this is just a few tips and user experience stuff. Hubert, I'm going to pop this into the chat. Can you take a look at the main website and discuss the user experience from the website being fully transparent? And pull it up and share your screen. What's your feeling on usability, flow, all those kinds of things? Because Paul and Joan put a lot of time into this. We got Limbic message on there, so give it a shot. So give us your expertise.
So let's do this together and react right away together. So So right away, I love that this says you deserve to see the extraordinary in you, right? The you deserve popped immediately. The part that right away, the part that I kind of got stuck on a little bit is that, okay, you see the distance. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can, if I go like this, can you guys see what I'm highlighting? Can you guys see in my screen?
Yeah.
Do you see this portion here?
Yeah.
Okay. So in my mind, this part is the header, all right? Just like every website has that. Okay. And this part down here, I'm gonna highlight this part here, is the body, right? This part up here, which is a call to action, it's an important part, but I think it would be a better user experience if either this was moved below the content panel, or if you want to keep it here, have it a different background color. You see how because it's the same background color, it looks, the mind reads this whole top as one thing. And when it's one thing like that, your mind gets stuck because I recognize what the top part is. I totally understand this part because this part's normal. But the reason, and this part down here, the call to action part by itself is normal. But when they're together in the same color, it becomes abnormal and like strange, right? So either change the background color of this slice, to a complementary color, but that'll help it right away. Originally, do you understand what I'm saying with that?
100%. Does that make sense to you, Paul and Joan?
Yep.
It does.
Yeah, it's super clear. So, okay, keep going, Hubie.
Now, one important thing, in my opinion, and Ridgely and I just counseled one of our top clients with this. Everybody loves and gets advice to put this call to action as the first thing. Literally, if somebody comes to this page and knows nothing about you, the percentage of people that will enter that first is 0 because they don't know who you are or anything about you. They need to see this and experience this before they will put their email in. You understand what I'm saying? The call to action, the call to action needs to come after the emotional connection. Very, very important. Okay.
So would you
now,
suggest to bring it down further?
Yes, okay. I would do this. What happens when you click this button here?
Schedule a free call. Discover call.
This goes to a book a call type of thing?
Yeah.
And that's different than this? What is this?
This is to download
material.
Okay. So which one is more important for you? You want more people to book the call or more people to join the list?
Book a call.
Yes. Okay. What I would do is I would have this as the main body right here. You're gonna watch the video, and maybe some people are gonna be moved to take a call, but if not, you want to explain more of who you are. And then under here, somewhere around here is where I would put this sign up. Okay, because you might say, oh, but my list is important. And yes, but making that impact and then doing the call to action. Remember the formula of the partner attraction formula that Richard was saying. The call to action part is the final step because establishing the limbic messaging and making that connection and using the you language to to tell them that you understand their problems, right? To help you, to serve you. If you're a professional, you're a business owner. By the time I get to this part, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, now I want to learn more. So in my mind, underneath here, before the testimonials, is where I would put this email sign up. Now, I know it sounds like counterintuitive, but until you make the connection and give the value and follow the steps, there's 0% chance that people will sign up right away.
Makes sense.
Okay, but I'm loving what I see so far. I just want to take a quick look at this video.
Welcome to Premier Destiny.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, see, I love this because I'm loving I love the bling of this. I love the the feeling of it. It's very graphic, very rich. I like it a lot. I like the gold. I like the testimonials. So originally, I like this a lot.
Well, they've done a lot of work on it. It's a good thing.
Let's take your help,
Well, thank you. Hubert, could you quickly check the other? I think we have some pages on there too. Oh,
Sure. I'm sorry. What else? What do you want me to click on?
I think there's some other pages over there.
Yeah, but this is the main.
That's the main one there? Okay.
Click on another page or two, Hubie.
Okay.
And Rachel, we're still working on this script. We'll rewrite that script.
Okay. So may I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay. So the home page, you see how graphically rich this is? And frankly, you guys are very attractive. Okay. And it looks good, right? What I would suggest is that every page in this website look like, so let me show you one of our even if it's the same picture. So let me show you this dental website. So these are the 3 dentists. So we show their picture right at the beginning. But then what we do is anytime you go to any page, at the top of the page is a banner as well. And so if you go to the contact page, meaning there's a graphically rich top of every single page. Don't be afraid to have every page look kind of like a home page, right? So let's show another dental example. Let's see, Migrant Dental. So if I go to the home page has the dentist there. But if I start going to the other pages, then every page has a rich graphic banner at the top. So what we're doing here is we have the nice pictures, and then we have a limbic statement. And then if I click to any other page, if I click to root canal, right? Nobody likes a root canal, but here he is again with a different client, and we believe in healing your pain. Right, you see, like every page has this rich graphicness to it, and because you're, have your artist use this photo right here and create a banner so that when you go to any of these pages, if you go to the professionals page, it would be nice to have before this headline here, if there was a slice here with your pictures right here, and you could put in a limbic statement like we did with, this kind of a thing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hubert, let me ask you, the background that we had in the other one also, that gold or whatever background, the first homepage, would you have that background? See the one on there?
So
would you have that gold? Would you have that also continue flow to the rest of the?
I would actually say no, only because I love it for the homepage because it's so visual.
Yes.
Okay, it's so rich, but if you overuse it, then it's too much. But you know what? You know what you can do? You can have your artist take a screenshot of this background and not have it moving, but you can take a screenshot and then put it in the background and then overlay your images on top of it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You get your graphic artist to literally take a screenshot of the background, like this all the way across of just the gold part, and then you take a screenshot, and then you take your picture. I know you guys can do it because you're having a graphic artist do it now, right? So you would take this picture here and overlay that on top of the gold background, and then put that up here above. Put that up here above the headline.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the experience that you want is, if I don't know you and I'm in a rush, I'm not reading every word on your website. I'm scanning your website. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click around. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click on the Destiny key. Okay. And when I click around, I want to see that, like, even on a page like this, before this part here, I want to that same banner that we just talked about. If that was up over here with a different limbic statement, as they search around your website, you're dropping on them all this limbic messaging, right? And they're getting it, boom, 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 like that. I think that's the beauty of the limbic messaging, is because people don't even realize they're reading and getting to know you. Any thoughts, Richard?
Yeah, great stuff. Again, you're going to get when we working in this mastermind, you're going to get a lot thrown at you. So let's go a little further, because Paul and Joan have sent us a number of different things for us to look at. Obviously, this is being recorded, right, guys?
Yeah.
So I know it's like drinking from a fire hose, and this whole call has been like, I mean, I'm feeling the pain of all of our members going, oh my God, this is crazy. But no, it's not like that. It'll just take a little longer to kind of get used to it. So let's take a look at a couple of the other things. You have some messages, some initial greetings and some final greetings. Now, where are those showing up? So I'm gonna pop this initial greeting into our chat. Where is this message showing up?
That one, I think, yeah, that one is showing up in my. It's more for social media, my LinkedIn page, because I'm having to message a bunch of people to kind of reach out to my connections and to get them to kind of take me on for my services. So I'm reaching. This is what I'm sending out to them just as a greeting or whatever.
So just a LinkedIn thing right there, right? Okay. So that's an initial LinkedIn contact?
Yeah.
Well, not initial. We have established connection before, and I'm trying to let them know more about. I'm trying to engage them for my services.
Okay. So it's what they're first seeing, right? When they get on LinkedIn, basically.
But no. This is after we're very established connection. We're already connected.
Okay, got it. All right. Got you.
Now I'm trying to introduce my service. Yeah, I can help.
Okay. So this is my world, right?
Okay.
And let me do this. Let's grab this message and let's go into AI and let's pop it in here. And let's say you are a LinkedIn expert looking to take a relationship to the next level. You are tasked with creating a greeting following an initial connection. Now, notice what I'm doing. I'm giving very specific instructions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is what we have so far. And how would you improve this? Sometimes it's a good idea just to put quotes around it so we know. And let's take a look. What do we get back? Here's a revised version. Yeah. See, this, if you think about, see how this is much cleaner? I hope also you. Great to connect on LinkedIn. If there's any way I can assist or collaborate, please let me know. I'm always here to help you achieve your goals. I don't think it's persuasive enough. So we're going to say, great. Can you, because your version sounds a little flowery. And that's the danger, right? Because LinkedIn is a business area. So if it sounds a little flowery, hope your world is brimming with positivity, that kind of thing is a little flowery. Can you make it more? So hold on a second. Persuasive, yet straightforward. Because that's what LinkedIn people are mostly looking for, right? Straightforward. Okay, let's see what it looks like. What do you give me for? Let's see. Stop generating. Okay. Breakdown of changes. All right, here we go. Pleasure to connect with you on LinkedIn. I've noticed the impressive work you've been doing. I generally believe we can collaborate in ways that bring mutual success. If there's an area you're looking to expand or improve, I'd love to discuss how I can assist. Let's make great things happen together. Much more direct. How does that feel to you?
I don't think it's persuasive enough. I mean, I think I'd like to make it more again, Limbic. I don't think I see much Limbic in there. Well, I don't.
So
I think it is nice, but I think it's got to me. I think it's got to be a little bit more persuasive. Originally,
like what do you think it's missing?
I don't think it's gonna draw me. If I saw that, then okay. It would not pull me in, if you will.
Okay, I think we should try this. And see what happens. Copy and again, making it about them. So it's a prompt about them. Shifting the focus to using you language. Here we go. Now, wonderful to see the strides you're making in your field. Connecting with you here offers a unique opportunity. How can we amplify your current successes? If there's a specific challenge or goal, let's explore how we can tackle it together. Your achievements deserve the best support. Okay, I think
like that better.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
and again, the thing is, we want to take this and make it yours, right? Remember, the tool is going to get us 80%, maybe 90% of the way there. That's all. What else could we do to this? What tone would you like to see? What tweak?
Convincing. I want to convincing, friendly, of course.
Let's do this. Let's grab for a second.
Friendly, inviting, and using emojis.
Let's see this. You got a follow-up message too.
Right.
Let's take that and pop it in here so it gives us ideas, because we have to use this tool to think. Great. We have a follow-up message also. Do the same thing with this. Cool. Do you sense there's more you can achieve a higher level of success within your grasp? Let's uncover how together we can elevate your performance, help you tap your vision. Okay. I don't like that, and it's not personal enough. Make this more personal, please. As if Paul is having a conversation with a friend. Remember, we never need to be satisfied. You just keep going until it feels right. You know, sometimes I get this feeling we all have a bit more inside of us just waiting to shine. Do you ever feel that way? I'd love to chat about how we can work together to bring out that extra spark. What do you think? Your dreams, goals mean a lot. I'm genuinely excited to be part of your journey. Catch up soon, Paul. Closer, getting closer. Now, you would.
What I do like, Ridgely, what I do like about that is that the language got super friendly and simplified.
Right? Cleaner. Now, this is the part that is that final 10%. You, Paul, want to take that and say, okay, this word right here doesn't feel like me. I don't like exactly the way that sounds. But the feeling that it conveys is much nicer and cleaner than where we started.
Right.
Which is, have you ever felt a whisper of untapped potential, right? That stuff, that's way too crazy. Now we go, sometimes I get this feeling we all have a bit more inside of us, just waiting to shine. Clean, easy, responsible. So you get to play with that, so to speak, and make it much more you. And so now let's go further. let me go back to my it's stuff that you sent me, which is great. And now let's take a look at the script. And let's say, hold on. Video script. So again, for everybody that's watching, this is what we can do here. It's really powerful. Let me share my screen again so everybody's seeing what I'm doing. This is a video script.
Yeah.
Terrific. Now let's do the same thing with this intro video script. Okay. Edit. Here we go. There's the prompt. There's the instructions. All right, let's make this script sound more like a personal conversation, as if Paul is speaking to a close friend. Hey there, welcome to Premier Destiny. Think of this place as where dreams get a roadmap. Ever had those moments where you wonder if there's more to life, or feel like there's so much out there, but it's just out of reach? I've been there. You know, they say there's plenty of wealth and opportunity out there, but sometimes it feels like dancing just beyond our fingertips, right? But here's the thing, you're the master of your journey. You get to decide. I've walked this path. I've seen others do it too. Whether it's that dream house you wanted, building a business empire, personal growth, or living life on your terms, what's your dream? Let's chase it together. Our Destiny Key program, it's like a treasure map. It starts to read like a dialogue, right? This is beautiful. Tracking with me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Much nicer. Much nicer.
And so now you take this and make it a little bit more you, but by starting at the top and going piece by piece by piece and tweaking and giving instructions, now you have something you can really work with. And so this would, now from a practical perspective, what would I do with this? I would print it out, and obviously I'm going to give you all this and give it to you right away. And then I would read it and make sure it flows from your mouth. It's got to sound right. If it doesn't sound right, you change the words, you change the feeling, you change the stuff, but the content is great.
Let me ask you, could you rate this?
Can I do what?
Could you rate this? Could you have the AI rate this?
Okay. Okay, so this is cool. Watch this, people. Oh, I have way too much fun. All right. Can you please now rate this script as being inviting, warm, and persuasive? Now, I've never done this before, so we'll see what happens. Nine out of 10, pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Inviting, warm, persuasive. 8.5. I mean, we're doing really well.
Oh, come on.
I love the tell me why hack. I call this the tell me why hack. It's important to check, and Paul, your instinct on this is exactly right.
Thank
You
you.
always want to ask it, why is it doing this, and how do you think it's doing? So it's this way you kind of learn how to make it do what you want.
Example.
Okay, watch this. What could we do to improve the script and bring it to 9 or above in the rating? Here we go. So these are some of these ideas you actually have to think about, right? You have to put some thought into what you're willing to do there, because these are not script ideas. These are actually business ideas that you got to think about. So let's play. Assume that all of the above suggestions were incorporated. Could you give us a new version of the script? Now, understand, this is where we might be into the wackadoodle mode a little bit, right? We might have gone off the reservation, but you have all of the stuff there to work with. So let's see. Of course, here's a revised vision. Okay, here we go. I remember time. This is great. Look, it worked. It totally worked.
And the thing also originally, we could tweak this to fit us,
Yeah.
which would make it more realistic.
Yeah, this is terrific. Look at this. I remember a time when I felt stuck, dreaming big, but unsure how to bridge the gap between my aspiration and reality. That's why I'm thrilled to welcome you to Premier Destiny, where dreams get a roadmap. Ever found yourself gazing at the stars, wondering if there's more out there for you? What's that one dream you've held on to? How would it feel to see it come to life in your voice? Our Destiny Key program isn't just a guide. And if prosperity is on your mind, our Money Marathon has been a game changer. Now, for those ready to dive in, we've got something special. First 50 people to get a bonus. I mean, this is really good.
This really is good. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hubert. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
thanks to everyone for indulging us, really.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So let me do this. Would you mind if we share this experience with others so they can also get some benefit from it? Would that be okay?
That's why you have the month. Please, of course.
Okay. All right. So, crew, you can now, hold on, I'm gonna stop share here for a second. And in the chat, anybody that wants this, obviously, Paul and Joan, please grab that link, make sure it opens. But this is super cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Risley. Thank you, Hubert. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, of course.
All
And
right, guys, we'll see you next time. And thank you very much for being a hot seat. We really appreciate it. What a great example of what this mastermind is all about. Think about how much value Paul and Joan brought to everybody and how much work they got for themselves. That's why we are here. That's what we're doing, is to really help people out. Hubert, your thoughts?
yes, and the value of that is immense for everybody, right? And so we're getting asked by Pat Snow and others, like, how do they get on the hot seat? So originally what I told them to do is email support, say you want to be on the hot seat with Hubert and Ridgely, and then you just have to like get your request in there and then send us what you wanted us to review. Okay?
Yeah, and the next call is literally 4 days from now, people. So it's like our next mastermind call is Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern, right? 1 o'clock Pacific. So we are totally ready to roll. And as you can see, we'll stay on longer as needed. At the moment, I'm getting grumped at by my wife because the dinner's hot.
Right, and also, Pat and others are asking, does it have to be in the form of a finished website for us to review? And I said, absolutely not. It can be any marketing material. I told them we do brochures, speeches, soup labels, books, matchboxes, billboards.
Yeah.
I said we also do mugs, and Bridget said Match.com profile, and I said yes, of course, but it's not guaranteed that you won't get wackos.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Hubert, give us one final joke. Terry, it's support at partner attraction formula. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Before the joke, and I know you have to go, but I just want to demonstrate one thing because this is being asked. And everybody, I love your questions, and so thank you for asking, because it's when you ask that everybody. Let me just.
And I also want to say, while you're pulling that up, I know today was a little bit like drinking from a fire hose, but it's going to be like this all the time. So rich in content to help you do what you need to do. This is so exciting for me. I'm so fired up about this, to be able to help people really on a profound level, much deeper than what we were doing before. I think this is awesome.
Yeah,
Really
I think
excited to be with all of you.
Okay, so now look, let me just turn my screen share on. This is not intuitive, but the brain works this way. Okay, so and Dr. Jean asked this question. If you don't have a website, but you want the PAF to review text, you simply toggle enter text, and then you paste the text in here. Okay, so in effect, going to a website, doing a copy of the text over there and putting it here with enter text is the same as putting enter URL here. Okay, so play around with this. You won't break anything. You can literally pop your text into here. And then now down over here, originally we actually owe people explanations of how to do this. So we'll have to start tackling.
Yeah, I think we blew people's brain enough already, man.
Yeah.
We're like,
but the lesson here is, if you don't select a specific task here, it runs through them all, which is kind of drinking like from a fire hose. But if you click it and you just want to like do one specific thing, marketing bullets, it'll just run that one specific thing. And that's basically how we recommend you do it, rather than drinking, from a fire hose.
And we'll do a demo on that next time. Again, folks, we're in this for the long term together. We want to be your partners in AI and in marketing for the long term, and to do whatever we can to help you grow your business. So again, next week we're joining at 4:00 Eastern on Tuesday, 17. And
by then I should be over my cold. With this stupid cold thing, I can't hear so well. Originally, I used to play the piano by ear, but now I have to use my hands.
All right, that's it. Love you guys. A big hug from me. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bring your content. Send us support at Partner Traction Formula, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. All right. See you, Hubie. See you tomorrow. Bye.